There I am. Why, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 45 of streaming live from my living room. It is February 13th, 2021. Um, if you notice anything different, I am now standing in a new live stream studio. Actually, I'm on the other side of the curtain where my wife usually sits in a chair, and it was actually her idea that I really wouldn't have to push this chair back and forth from the curtain. So this is going to be the live stream studio eventually. The lighting is weird, so check this out. I can do this. There's that. That's not enough lighting. And that's too much. So there you have that. Welcome, everyone. It is a politically free zone, especially now. We have to say that again. A lot of stuff going on. First and foremost, introduce yourself in the chat. Tell us what you're drinking, where you're from. I have an eye here on my iPad to almost see the chat. Last weekend, Saturday night, the GoFundMe to get me a new MacBook Pro got funded, and I didn't know it. The notifications from GoFundMe are slow, and people were going in there and saying, "Well, it's funded." I was like, my wife said, "No, it's crazy. It's not funded yet." So whoever went in there and said it was funded and didn't give any money because it was funded, go back in there and give money, because even though it's funded, I'm got a lot of extras are racking up right now. So check this out. This is something that I didn't know what it was. I have a tech wizard. Our oldest one, he's an immense genius computer wizard. I don't even know what this is. But he said I had to get it to plug this into the MacBook Pro so I could plug all the other shit into the MacBook Pro. The punchline to this whole thing is, let's see if I can find it. Hang on. Is that my tech advisor, he gifted me this snowball microphone for live streaming, which is a really big hit when I do guest appearances on other shows. I just hold this up and the people just lose their fucking minds. So the punchline is, this doesn't plug into a phone, right? So that's why we need the MacBook Pro to stream. Hardwire, and I gave you the Ethernet cord lesson before. But he also talked me into getting, because of the donations, a 4K webcam is coming. That's why I needed this thing to plug that into, and that has microphones in it, thus rendering this scepter just something that I can use in fantasy reading novels and all that shit. I might find a use for that. I don't really know. So that's kind of exciting. Thank you so much for funding my GoFundMe. The MacBook Pro is going to get here in about 2 weeks. It's driving me nuts because I needed a specific configuration. I've got 16 gigabyte unified system memory. I don't know what that means. You don't know what that means. It means there's going to be an extra delay to get it, but it's going to be more badass than ever before. Super Chat is on tonight for a really stupid reason. There's 21 bucks hung up in my Super Chat, and the payoff is at $100. So I could either just say fuck you in a bucket of goo to that 21 bucks, or put Super Chat on and wait until we get back up to $100 and then cash it out. And when it's going to be close, I don't know. But that's not anything really going on. What is really going on is tonight, this is hot shit right there. After this live stream, I'm going to make my first attempt at doing a Patreon exclusive live stream kind of bonus thing. That starts at 9 o'clock. You must be a Patreon of mine to get in there. The tier levels start at like $3. You can join and then quit, but I don't know how fast you can join and quit. So I don't even know if that's going to work because that's a whole nother thing I got to try to set up. Um, so wish me luck on that. So that's going to be exciting tonight. Patreons, I think there's like 9 people in there. One of the levels is Badass Lamplighters, where we're doing a group Zoom. So far, it's just me and Richter. So that's going to be sort of like, we'll try to make it not a gay mandate Zoom, but so far, it's just Richter's the only one in there. So me and Richter are going to have a special Zoom time. So there you have it. I'm blown away that the GoFundMe worked. I've been pissing and moaning about this on my guest podcast because it's like I got goaded into doing it by my daughter's boyfriend. Thank you, Vince. It's people lost their homes, they need operations, or you could help an Amish guy try to stream from a thing that is not a mobile device. Kerpow! It just made it. I also love that you peckerheads, and they found out before I did because I didn't. I had to log in there to see what everybody was talking about. So congratulations, you're funded. Oh, congratulations, I'm funded. All right, so that's kind of rock star of everybody. Moving right along here. One of the problems is with running my career with mobile is when I do Zoom appearances, the phone. Here's the phone. There's the phone right there. There's little waiting rooms and stuff, and they're waiting for me, and I'm waiting for them, but I have to scroll to a screen to get to another waiting room that I'm not in yet, that they're waiting for me, going, where the fuck are you? And then I can't really see it on this screen, so that's going to solve a thing for me. I'm excited about that. Also, trying to write comedy on the phone is ridiculous. Managing my fan pages on a phone is ridiculous. So the MacBook Pro won't just be for streaming. I should hopefully be able to write my book on there and manage my career with less horror show than I have right now. Today, again, I had some problems with fingerprint recognition. My fingerprint apparently changed another time during this pandemic. I missed out on something here. It is the 13th, and I have a weird thing. I get extra Friday the 13th that normal people don't get because I stay up late. I'm nocturnal. I'm up to 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't consider it to be the next day until I sleep and get up. So technically, last night I experienced a few hours of Friday the 13th. So there you go. That's my own mental problem. That has nothing to do with you. This has to do with me. So, again, waiting for this new MacBook is just fucking driving me nuts. Of course, I waited 10 years for it, so I guess I can wait a couple more weeks. Should be coming at the end of the month. I'm going all in. You see, my lighting is weird. I showed you that. I'm also spending every dime that comes in through that GoFundMe is going into equipment. So I'm also got a light ring, which just the whole Amish thing and growing up without electric, I would get myself a light ring no matter what. And the light ring would just go around like the live streaming camera, so I would get normal light instead of all this weird. The lighting now is just lights in the room. That's it. And I got to take the lamp off, and it's too bright, and all this happy horseshit. Other problem with this room that I haven't solved is that Sparky's on the other side of this curtain, and everybody's going, go get her. All things in good time. I think what I'm going to do is try to cut a hole in this thing, but check this shit out. When I get the MacBook Pro, then I can use the Streamlabs templates so I can do a background without this shower curtain. And that way I can take the shower curtain back upstairs and put it in the bathtub where it belongs. But because I'm thinking I'm a little bit of an asshole, I'm going to see if I can create this exact thing as my background. And you go, well, you got the MacBook Pro, but you still have the shower curtain. Oh, don't be fooled. It's an illusion. And when that happens, there'll be actually no curtain here, and Sparky will have free reign to just kind of zoom through the void, or whatever the fuck we would call it. I don't really know. So I'm very excited about that. Once again, thank you. I'm stunned. I just can't believe this stuff is happening. Bibbidi bobbidi boo, Streamlabs, shower curtain. I'm doing my notes here. Let's deal with Valentine's Day. Okay, here's the thing. Valentine's Day is a double-edged sword. My wife and I have such a happy life together. It's hard to figure out anything to do special. If Sparky wants to get in the show, I heard it. For Valentine's Day. So we have such a nice life together. But Valentine's Day there's pressure on the guys to figure stuff out. Sometimes you do the flowers and the candy, and that's a good idea. Sometimes you take a shortcut and you get the chocolate roses, and it's buy one get one free, and that's a bunch of happy horse shit. That's all well and good, but I'm here to tell you the key to keeping romance alive after so many years together. The flowers and the candy are all well and good, but guys, get your lazy ass up off the couch, go down in the basement and do a fucking load of laundry. That's a fucking turn on. That's it. I announce it. Spin cycle, baby, and then I'm coming up, and I'm getting older, so there's good that there's starch down there. Just never know. She don't have to know. So that's what's going on with Valentine's Day. Another thing to figure out for Valentine's Day is I make these big announcements in the house just to me and my wife. And it almost guarantees that I'm going to do the opposite, because now I have live streaming here. Setting up the additional live stream just for Patreon was a big fucking pain in the ass, and I did pretty close. Now I got to do math. That's a great question. Sparky's in the house. I got to do math. I'm frozen. I'm all confused. I was making these big announcements that I said that I was going to stop doing so many guest appearances on other people's podcasts and Zoom shows because I got my hands full with all this stuff now. Didn't I do a podcast on Tuesday, and I did a Zoom show Thursday, and Sparky flew in to the podcast show on Tuesday and landed on this phone. And they lost their fucking minds. Because I don't know, I guess mostly they have guessed that cockatiels don't fly in and land on their phones. So that's badass. I'm glad we figured this out. See, this is as we build the studio here. That's what's going to be happening. Trying to figure out how to get Sparky. The clever trick there was my amazing wife just brought her over. She doesn't want to go on the microphone stand. But let's see if I can do that. But I put it for notes. She might tonight. I'll put this here. Let me take that off because you're not going to. All right. So again, this buffering over here should get solved when I can hard wire an MacBook Pro, so we could get me hardwired. When it buffers, spinning wheel of doom. That could be the situation now because I moved in this room. That could have been a bad move. This is weird because I see me behaving like I behave now, and over here I'm completely frozen and I'm a mess. It would be a terrible idea to stop this. There, I started up again. Now, when I start up again on YouTube, it'd be weird to see if all the stuff that I said appears now or if it just starts in the now. That'd be a little fucked up, right? I don't have no way of knowing. We seem like we're sort of back, right? We seem like we're back. Sparky's in the house. She can't believe it. She warned me this could be a big nightmare, moving from that room to this room. It's good a time as any to have some water. Yes, Sparky, you need a drink now. Nope. It would really help the ratings. So when I'm zooming, I'm guest zooming, I got off track here. Valentine's Day. Another key to a good relationship is they asked me to do a Valentine's Day Zoom show, and my wife would never tell me no, but I'm smart enough to know that's a bad idea. Plus, I don't want to Zoom on Valentine's Day. I want to hang with my beautiful wife. And I mocked him a little bit because it's a whole bunch of comedians that have been, a lot of them have been divorced. And I said, why don't you just get all the divorced comedians to do a Valentine's Day show on Valentine's Day, and they can explain why they are divorced, because they're the kind of people who would do Zoom shows on Valentine's Day. And I sort of think that's what they're going to be doing. And one of the guys, John G, I love him. He's a big guy. He kind of has a Santa Claus thing going on. And they were doing a promo for the Valentine's show during my podcast show. And they said, because join John G for Valentine's Day, because when you think Valentine's Day, you think John G. And I just naturally screamed, remember, oh shit, I hope that isn't true, because on Valentine's Day, if I'm thinking about this heavy man that looks like Santa Claus, I got some serious fucking issues, and I'll have to make a Zoom therapy appointment on actual Valentine's Day. So that's some weird shit there. I'm trying to bring up morale over on those Zoom shows too, because some of the comedians get a little bit hammered and they're pissing and moaning that there's no live audience. I'm a little cocky. I believe we, the streaming, Zooming, podcasting comedians, are the rebels of the pandemic. I believe that with all my heart. I do. We could just sit back and say, fuck it, or we could just try to do what we do, and then maybe miracles can happen, like GoFundMe's for MacBook Pros and all kinds of shit like that. But I think 20 years from now, we, the Zoomers and the streamers, will be an episode of drunk history, like, the comedians from the pandemic. And imagine that. If you can go back in time, if George Carlin could Zoom into your living room, Lenny Bruce, that would be badass. I'm neither of them, but the point has been made. All right, so there we go with that. I think we're all caught up here. I don't know what you've missed. I don't know what's going on. During one of my Zoom shows, I invented a curse word. Munga Singa Fungi. That's what it just flew out, and and they said, what? Munga Singa Fungi, and I repeated it like I knew what it was. Then they asked me to explain what it was, and I said, it's really fuck you in a bucket of goo in code, and places like where you can't say fuck you in a bucket of goo, you say Munga Singa Fungi. And there is actually a point to all this, because we must revisit cancel culture, which is trending again. Celebrities are saying dumb shit, and then they're getting fired, and then they take a stand and they say, I'm going to put an end to cancel culture. And I'm here to tell you, I, as a stand-up comedian, have been a victim of cancel culture since I started in 1991. We just didn't have a name for it. You say stupid shit, and you don't get booked to come back to that place. That's fucking cancel culture. It's consequence culture is what it is. Hi.
Hi, you're still glitchy, they say. Like every other word is a little muffled there.
I don't know how to fix it.
Just letting you know.
Well, thank you. My wife says I'm glitchy, but I still don't know how to fix it. So cancel culture has been happening since 1991. And comedians, as dumbasses as we are, I was taught by other dumbass comedians that if I said stupid shit, I would be canceled. This is not new. This is old. That's what this is. This is old shit. If you were performing at a Sheraton and you mocked Sheratons and said they were scumbag pieces of shit places, you wouldn't get booked back at the Sheraton. That's what would happen there. We just didn't have a name for it. If rejecting cancel culture was a thing that worked, I would be booked 52 weekends out of the year. Anybody who I cursed too much at and said, well, we're not booking you because you cursed too much. Hey, cancel culture, you got to book me. I'm putting an end to this. It's bullshit. It's made up. When you say stupid shit, they have the right to fire you. It's been going on forever. I have so many fun examples. Don Imus got in more trouble for saying stupid shit on the radio than Dick Cheney got into for actually accidentally shooting someone in the head. So he apologized and they were okay. Imus apologized and it was not okay. And who could see that coming? If thugs grabbed you and put you in a room and said, okay, you have to pick one of these crimes and you will suffer the consequences of that crime. You can pick stupid shit on the radio or shooting someone in their head. Nobody in their right mind would pick shooting someone in the head. I'll take the consequences for shooting someone in the head. And it turns out that was the right choice. Cancel culture? Perhaps. I don't know. But we have never really forgiven people for verbal mistakes. Sometimes people do really stupid cancel culture shit. Tiger Woods pulled off the ultimate thing to fuck up his golf career. Not really cancel culture, but he had to take a break. And why he's one of the dumbest sons of bitches that ever lived is that Tiger Woods fucked 13 blonde women that looked exactly like his wife. What the fuck's wrong with that? It's just golfers apparently have no imagination. Did he ever hear of role play? All he would have had to do was call his wife a different name every fucking night of the week. She would have loved it. She'd say, oh, it's Saturday. What is it? Oh, I'm Ulla Hansa Svanson. I'm the Swedish blonde tonight. And then tomorrow night I'll be Sally from Seattle. What the fuck? So that was one of the dumbest fuck-ups there ever was. The guy had an affair with 13 women, all looked like his wife. Fucked up his golf career. Yes, he's back, but again, cancel culture. I don't know. You can call it that. I just call it an inability to read the room. These peckerheads need to understand where they are so they don't say stupid shit. I've been going through it my whole life. You, my fans, you know how I am. You know how I am. And some people, and I'm going over my career now, when I had normal jobs, they would come to see me and then I'd go nuts and I'd curse and then they would be afraid of me at work. Like, oh my God, I didn't know you were that way. What way? What fucking way were you talking about? And then they apologized to my wife. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you had to go through this. And she's like, what are they talking about? Do they think like you go to the supermarket and then yell at the butter, fuck you in a bucket of you, scrapple sucking rat bastard, motherfucker, cocksucker, asshole, shit for brains, fucking bat shit, ball crazy. If I'm mad in the market, I just see it like quietly. And I've been a victim, I wouldn't call it cancel culture, but I've been a victim of people's inability to read the room. Fans, maybe somebody in the chat who did this to me, and they did it lovingly, but they didn't know. I had my daughter, 5 years old, and we'd be walking around at the fair trying to win goldfish, and a fan would go, hey, you bearded prick, you dog ass, you scrapple sucking slut. I'm a 5-year-old here. So we just kind of escape. To me, all this is related to cancel culture. You got to read the room. You got to figure out what is appropriate to say. Cancel culture makes me so fucking angry because it's again, I've said it before, but the baseball player, umpire calls a third strike, and then he goes, you're blind. You are the fucking worst umpire that there ever was. You are ejected. You are fucking out of here. The batter can't go, sorry, dude, I am putting an end to this cancel culture. And then the coach comes out and says, what's the problem here? Well, he threw me out of fucking, what you saw, he's blind as a fucking bat. Now you're fucking out of here too. Sorry, dude, cancel culture. I'm putting an end to it. That shit doesn't work. Learn to read the room. I'm all worked up now. Sparky, welcome. Water now. She really likes when I have ginger ale. Then when she sees this and there's ginger ale in there, she actually wants to take a bath in the ginger ale, which we don't allow, but maybe we have to think about it. Whipping through my notes here. I'm so curious to know when I stopped spinning like this if the shit I said before came through or if it just didn't, and then we picked me up now in progress. Because if that happened, this show will continue like 19 minutes after I'm gone. That's fucking weird. All right, Munga Singa Fungi, Fuck You in a Bucket of Goo, Cancel Culture Revisited, notes here, Sparky's Feathers in the Way. Let's see. All right. Umpire, see, I'm way ahead of schedule here. Here we go. Notes are lower. I put a lot of notes about cancel culture. I said about all this shit. All right, now we're moving down on the floor there. Random change of subject. Okay, I have a cool job. There's no two ways about it. In the darkest of times, this is a cool job. So, my brother-in-law, who passed away a few years ago, he, brilliant sense of humor, complete opposite of me, worked for DuPont his whole life, business guy. We never would have met under normal circumstances, but he had a razor sharp sense of humor. So I went through a lot of changes too, and I was out of shape, and I was all like Lion King, and then I started working out. I hadn't seen him for a year, and I got all ripped to the nines, and I got my hair cut nice and clean. And then at the Christmas party, he said, I liked him better when he's all hairy and fat. So the point of this story is, when he got to certain levels of DuPont, they, instead of phasing him out, they left him be Jeff Gordon, the race car driver's personal Uber driving man, coffee getting man. That's a fucking good gig. I don't care how you feel about racing. If you work in an office your whole life and then all of a sudden they go, we're putting you on Jeff Gordon duty. What does that mean? Well, he's a little slow and you got to make sure he doesn't get lost. You got to pick him up at the airport and then you got to run him over here and you got to take him over there, and you have to keep him away from all your worst relatives. You cannot bring Jeff Gordon to the picnic. You can't. He needs to be protected. If you have anybody in your family that seems a little off, you have to make sure they're never at your house at the same time Jeff Gordon is. We are definitely talking about me. And I did try to pull some shit off one time. They were up in Massachusetts, but they were coming to Hershey. I guess there's a racetrack there. And he was driving Jeff Gordon down or picking him up at the airport and taking him to Hershey. I happened to be at Hershey Park that day, and I was texting him, begging, and I was serious on there, do you think you could possibly bring Jeff Gordon over to Hershey Park? It's not like coming to your house or anything, because I want to go on Lightning Racer with him. There's 2 roller coasters in the race, and I want to sit in the front, and I want him to sit in the front of the other one. And red mostly always wins, so I want to arrange it for him to sit in green and I sit in red, and then I'll get to say that I raced Jeff Gordon and I fucking beat him. And he said the reason that they let me drive Jeff Gordon around is that I promised I would never bring him to you and let you race him on a roller coaster. True story. I never got to. Something on my bucket list that never happened. The dream of beating Jeff Gordon on a roller coaster race at Hershey Park, never gonna happen. I had a shot, it wasn't in the cards, and we move on. All right, let's see here. I got myself all worked up. I hate when I freeze and I get stuck, and then my wife is stuck in the middle. She has to come over and tell me that I'm frozen, and then I'm like, trolls in my idea hallway are like, I don't know what to do, and I didn't really know. But she still has to report. So again, here's Mrs. Comic. Absolutely outstanding. I'm recognizing some names in this chat too. This is my Patreon people. Man, who knows what's going to happen over there when we get over there. Peeking at floor notes. Okay. was actually peeking at the clock. Couple of golden oldies here. Random. I'm all over the place, but that's why you love me. There's no rhyme or reason to my show. Mary the feral cat is upstairs, kind of like an illegal alien up there. She wants to play with me all the time. Technically, I'm her possession. I'm allergic. I got a lot of shit to do. I can't just play with fucking cats all the time. So our daughter told me about the most amazing thing. Cat TV on YouTube. If you have pets and a TV screen that you don't care if they fucking destroy, I have an old fucking Toshiba TV upstairs with shitty sound, and I don't want to throw it out because it works, and I just kept it, and now Cat TV plays upstairs, and Mary stares, and there's one on Instagram. She stares, and it's videos, 8 hours of birds running around. She's watching right now. There's a mouse, and it runs out of a hole, and then a second mouse comes out, and this thing goes on for like fucking 8 hours. And if you think it's boring, my wife and I watched it downstairs for like 45 fucking minutes. It's amazing. They have all different ones. There's birds, there's mice, Cat TV. Check it out. Your pets will love it. Make sure it's TV that you don't care, because it's elf. Just try to fucking dive in there and scratch that fucker and see what's going on. Cat TV, you're welcome. Moving right along here. Some golden oldies here. I haven't talked about this for a while. Doesn't really apply now because my wife doesn't like going to the doctor any more than I do. But guys, we will be in such denial about anything that's wrong with us, and we won't report it because we don't want to go to the doctor. Which, who the fuck would want to go to the doctor? But years ago, I had a hernia, and I didn't have the fucking slightest idea what it was. But every so often, this is how fucking dumb I am, and I'm not the only one. This is how guys are. It would pop up like a grapefruit right in my groin. And I, being the genius that I am, thought that I could cure this with herbal tea. And I was asking my wife for all kinds of herbal tea, and she's just serving me up, and she's like, you seem like you really like herbal tea now. And I'm like, I sure do like herbal tea. So finally this became news that there was this fucking grapefruit popping out of my groin here. And I went to the doctor, and I had to have a hernia surgery. And again, I just thought I could just, go in the yellow pages and just like do a drive-through window or whatever. So when this thing popped out, it was fucking agony. When that grapefruit popped out, it was as though someone put a bullet right next to my fucking balls. I could scream. I could fucking scream. So the doctor's telling me that he could schedule me in like fucking 4 weeks from now. I mean, you mean I gotta live with this bullet, scream, pain, agony, grapefruit for 4 fucking weeks, and it fucking pops out at will. It just pops out, and I start fucking screaming, and you're gonna want me to live that way for 4 weeks. He said, when it pops out, just lay down, and then it'll go right back in. What if I'm fucking driving? That's all I do is fucking drive. I'm driving to fucking Selden's Grove to do a show, and my fucking grapefruit pops out, and I'm fucking lay down on fucking Route 78. Are you out of your fucking mind? So then I found a peckerhead who could do it fast, and he also wanted to explain it to me. And I throw up easy, and I'm like, I don't want to hear the fucking process, man. Just fucking do it. So you can do it tomorrow? You can do it tomorrow. He sold it to me like a car salesman he did. It's outpatient surgery. You'll be in the morning, and you'll be out in the afternoon, and you'll be right as rain. That was sort of bullshit, because here's what happened is, okay, so I went in there, and first of all, if you have to have anything done to you, Google the floor plan, because every time you ask anybody anything in a hospital, it's like fucking $300 extra on your bill. So I went in there, and I was a little pissed off because they didn't have any black gowns. I wanted a black gown, but I had a green gown, and it was those ones where your ass was hanging out the back. And it turns out I actually kind of like that. And I came home and I cut the ass out of a few pair of pants because I kind of like that I feel free feeling. So now I got my green gown on. I then come in there and I'm laying in the bed, and a lunatic, an escape mental institution guy like the fucking Sling Blade man comes zooming in, doesn't say anything. He undoes my gown and starts shaving around my balls. And I'm thinking, motherfucker, I hope this guy actually works here. He could be a psychopath, just got off the fucking bus at the wrong stop, decided to come in here and shave my balls. And then he's shaving around my balls there, and then I see the little name tag, and I'm thinking, what the fuck did this guy do to get a job of shaving my balls? That doesn't really seem like that great of a gig. I mean, fucking McDonald's is hiring. But this guy picked for his career shaving my balls. Now, there's a guy too that you want to be friends with him, but you don't want to fucking break his concentration while he's working. Say, how about them Eagles? Oh, I'm here to tell you that hair creates to the illusion of size. I'm there watching a Sling Blade man shave my balls, and I'm watching my manhood get fucking shaved right down the fucking. So I'm panicking. I'm like, will it grow back? He goes, the hair, yeah. Not the hair, my schlong. I was hung like a fucking horse before you got in there with that fucking lawnmower, you motherfucker. So then he goes out of there. Then the next lunatic comes in, the anal anesthesiologist, whoever the fuck she is, and she says, do you want a spinal or a local? I'm like, how the fuck do I know? Why do I get to pick? Why don't you fucking keep me awake in case the surgeon has any fucking questions about which kind of fucking zigzag pattern he wants to fucking cut? Let's just pretend it was your ass laying here in the bed, and you didn't have a black gown, and the Sling Blade man came and just fucking shaved your manhood away. Would you pick a spinal or a local? She said, oh, I would take a spinal. Bingo. Put me down for a fucking spinal. Now, a spinal numbs you from the waist down. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't thinking with my schlong. It was a freeing experience. In fact, when your thing is numb, it's not even good for anything. It's not fun to play with. You can't, it's just, you just kind of forget that it's there, all right? So now, they knocked me out, and I woke up, and they had the fucking best drugs. I was laughing like a fucking nitwit, and I could feel like a zipper. It felt like they installed a zipper, and I was high as a fucking kite, and they wanted me to roll out of bed and walk. And I just started fucking laughing. I mean, you want me to walk now? I just got my new zipper. I don't fucking know how to walk with a zipper. I'm Amish. I'm not fucking used to zippers, motherfucker. Now I fucking have a zipper installed on me? What the fuck is going on here? So I looked down, and they put big pink furry slippers on me. So I'm walking Amish Frankenstein, breeze blowing up me, on my zipper, laughing at my fucking slippers, walking down the fucking hall, and this is the dumbest thing. You have to pee before you're allowed to leave a hospital. That's the dumbest fucking rule there is. They don't even make you pee when you leave a bar, and they should, because 3 o'clock in the morning, guys are fucking pissing on Route 309 and all that shit. But so you have to pee, or you can't fucking leave. I'm here to tell you, when your thing is numb, it don't pee, it don't do nothing. So I'm in there, and I'm talking to my thing, begging it to pee. I'm having a conversation with my own schlong, which is something I don't do often enough. I'm like, please, just a few little drops, and then we can get out of here, okay? And I almost had it, I almost peed, and then Nurse Ratchet popped her head in there and scared the fuck out of me. She goes, is everything all right in there? It was, until you fucking scared it. I was hung like a fucking horse till you popped that fucking in there right there. She says, oh, don't worry. If you can't make a wee-wee, we can tap you. Do whatever you have to do to make a wee-wee if you're in there. Take a cup along and do a fucking throwdown, because they shoved like a fucking cafeteria up there, and they pulled the handle, and I was pissing like a fucking champ. How about that? Sparky, I spooked you out a couple of times on that story. Fuck me in a bucket of goo. I forgot there'll be some things next week from that bit on things that I forgot. But we'll worry about that when we get to things that I forgot. Oh, here's more fun stuff. I am a theater geek. And boy, do I miss going to New York to see shows. Our daughter figured out how to rock Broadway. They had a lot of shows, had lotteries where you stand out there like an idiot and you put your name in the hat, and they yank it out, and you can buy like Broadway show tickets for like $32. We used to win all the fucking time. It's kind of really fun. I miss all that shit, but I learned a lot of theater geek stuff. You're not supposed to say Macbeth in a theater or some sort of theatrical, demonic. That was pretty badass. You see, Sparky just jumped on breasts that I don't even have. There she goes. I don't know how you did it. That was pretty amazing. But you're not supposed to say Macbeth in a theater. If you do, everybody gets really upset. Like you've summoned the Shakespeare ghosts and goblins, and then you got fucking you have to get out of there. And the way to remove the Macbeth curse is you must actually leave the theater, and they make you do it. And then you have to go outside, and you have to turn around 3 times. Sorry, Sparky, that's 1. And here comes 2. I'm going to be dizzy. And here comes 3. And then you have to spit, and curse. Fuck you in a bucket of goo. And then, can I come back in? Yes. Come back in. That is going to be a wrap for episode 45. Thank you so much. Thanks for these generous donations in the live chat here. I'm going to try to figure out if I can get myself together for my 9 o'clock Patreon live after live. There went the alarm. You notice I didn't use Baboomsa tonight because Baboomsa's in the other room. Thanks for tuning in. I love yous. I appreciate everything. I'll see my Patreons hopefully at 9 o'clock. If you're a Patreon of mine and you didn't get the link, go log into Patreon now. The link should magically appear because I scheduled it to appear just now. So you'll go in there, click on that link, and it will lead you back to a secret room in YouTube that nobody knows about. Thanks, folks. I'm going to turn this off, and here we go.